Hello students, ancient settlements of Sri Lanka. So that is unit 2 of this grade 10. So we are going to discuss about the ancient settlements. The spreading of the settlements and then the main factors that affected the settlements in Sri Lanka from the ancient times. So these settlements took place from the ancient times and later the population increased and now all the areas are populated. So the period before the past that is described by the literary sources is known as the prehistoric era. The prehistoric era is the first era which the settlements of Sri Lanka took place. So this prehistoric era is divided into two eras, Stone Age and Protohistoric era. Stone Age and the Protohistoric era, those two stages belong to the prehistoric era. So Stone Age, you have studied about the Stone Age before in your lessons, the lifestyle of the people who lived in the Stone Age. After this, the Protohistoric era, it showed a tendency of man towards certain aspects. So the man, it is called as a transition of the era. Stone Age changed during the prehistoric era. The lifestyle and the other behavioral pattern of the people changed during the Protohistoric era. So these people started to depend on herbal food. Earlier in the Stone Age, they were totally dependent on hunting. Use of metals started during the Protohistoric era, and the beginning of living in permanent settlements also took place in the Protohistoric era. So the settlements expanded after the development of the behavioral patterns of the people during these eras. So settlements in Sri Lanka were made by the early Homo sapien man. The Homo sapien man is considered as the first person who is very closer to the nature of the present man. He had become as the earlier settler, the first settler in Sri Lanka, the Homo sapien man. So we have found certain evidence in Ratnapura areas, in the gem mines of Ratnapura, and in the gravel layer covered with sandy soil known as the Iranamadu Formation. In the Ratnapura gem mines and the areas of the Iranamadu Formation, we have found certain information regarding these early settlers. Regarding the settlers who belong to the nature of the Homo sapien man. They have found certain tools that they have used. Remaining particles of certain objects, tools, skeletons have been discovered in these areas, in Ratnapura closer gem mines and Iranamadu Formation. So the Iranamadu Formation is covered with the sandy soil and the gravel layer. So after the archaeological excavations, they have found certain information regarding these early settlers. Then the expansion of settlements in different climatic zones. The people settled in different climatic zones. According to the nature of the climatic zones, they selected their settlements. And they started to adapt to the certain settlements, certain climatic zones. According to the nature of the climatic zone, they changed their lifestyle, the food style, the behavioral pattern, everything was changed according to the nature of the areas where they were settled. According to the climate, according to the availability of food, likewise. So the semi-arid zone, lowland dry zone, lowland intermediate zone, wet zone, mountainous dry intermediate zone and arid zones. So they are the main zones, main different climatical zones where the early settlers settled. And there were certain facts considered regarding these settlements. Annual rainfall. They always paid their attention regarding the annual rainfall. Usually in these areas, the annual rainfall should be favorable for their settlements, and the availability of animals and plants. Availability of animals for their food supplies and plants also for their food. There were differences in their food consumption according to their regions of settlement. According to the regional settlements, the food consumption of these people varied. Because they adapted to the food which were available in those areas. The people who lived in the lowland wet zone used oysters as their food. So they were using oysters as their food because in the lowland wet zone, for example, this Bandaravela area, oysters were available. Certain oysters were living in trees, in lagoons, oysters were available, so they started to eat these oysters. After these excavations, they have found certain lagoons with salt water. It is said that these early settlers have brought salt from coastal areas and filled that lagoon to make it salty. Because this salt water is favorable for this breeding of oysters. And the people in the lowland dry zone, the oysters were not available in that area. There was some dry zone forest, so they hunted the animals and took those hunted animals as their food. They have hunted deer and iguana mostly for their food items. So that is another important adaptation of them according to the different natures of the settled climatic zones. And they have used to calculate these time periods of these certain areas. They have excavated certain areas which provide evidence of the ancient settlements, and they have used a certain method to calculate the time, to measure the time period of those certain areas. Some evidence of the Stone Age is discovered in these areas. So Iranamadu Formation, Pathirajavela in Hambantota, they have found some information about the settlers of the Stone Age. Scientific analysis called this optically stimulated luminescence method that is used to measure the age of these gravel layers. So certain evidence have confirmed by measuring the age of the gravel layers, and they have found about the age of the certain areas of settlements. So it is mentioned here, the Fahiangala, they have found that it is these areas, the people were living before about 38,000 years ago. Kuruvita Batalombalena 28,000 years ago. Kitulgala Belirena 15,000 years ago. Likewise, they have measured the age of the areas of settlements by using this optically stimulated luminescence method. And from some areas they have discovered these types of stone tools. This you can see in this picture, some stone tools. These tools have taken the geometric shape. So these belong to the Middle Stone Age, not the Early Stone Age. They belong to the Middle Stone Age, and these were made from pure alabaster stone as a beam. They were made from pure alabaster stones as a beam weed. So they have used these stones and sharpened the stones. So they have used these tools to cut the things, to tear the things, because this alabaster stone is with the it's sharp. So these things are having the geometrical shape. That is also another important thing. Right. Then when you talk about the key features of the settlements, so these settlements expanded by undergoing adaptation to environmental conditions. People adapted according to the environmental condition. So they preferred to live in a place where the natural resources were available. Because they were taking the use of natural resources, certain uses of water, the soil, trees and the forest were important. So they selected the areas where these natural resources also available. They lived in rainforest, dry zone forests, coastal lagoons, creeks, and hill country grasslands. So they have lived in these areas. Right. They lived in rainforest, dry zone forests, coastal lagoons, creeks, hill country grasslands. Because water was available, food was available, animals and the lagoons were available for the food purposes, etc. They settled in areas where water and stones were available in order to make tools. Water was essential for their consumption and stones were essential to make their tools. So they selected certain areas where the stones were available also. They lived in open areas. In the dry season, they lived in open areas, and in the rainy season, they lived in indoor camps. In rainy season, they lived in caves. So there are certain outdoor camps that they had lived during the dry seasons. Manihaggal Kanda, Gundala, Pathirajawela, Bellanbari Palace, Bandarawela, Horton Plains, these are the outdoor camps. And caves, Pahiyangala, Batadomalena, Kitulgala Belilena, Aligala and Shigiri. These are the caves. So they have stayed in these caves during the rainy season. So in the picture you can identify it is an ancient cave which is located in this Pahiyangala, this cave, Pahiyangala cave which is located in Kaltra district in Bulat Sinhala. So it was a habitation of the prehistoric men. So prehistoric men had lived there. So we can find certain information regarding the people who had settled in the lowland wet zone in Sri Lanka. So it is another important source to get information about the prehistoric men who lived in the prehistoric periods. So they lived in caves during the rainy season. And the lifestyle of the people, so these people, they were adjusted to live while using hunting and roaming. Hunting and roaming were mostly used in their main lifestyle. They spent a nomadic life because they went from place to place. They had stayed in certain area for a certain time, and the food and the other things were finished. They moved to another area and settled in that area. The population consisted of a collection of small groups. Small groups were there, including 15 to 25 members. If you include 15 to 25 members were in one group at the early stage. A family consisted about 5 members. They lived in the land area of about 50 square meters. So land area was about 50 square meters in Churchill, Bandarawela. They have discovered some information about a land area for about 50 square meters which is located in the area of Churchill, Bandarawela. There is a place of early historical settlements. And 30 human skeletons were found in Bellanbari Palace. So they had lived in an area which consists 120 square meters. This was also belonged to the Stone Age. So these are the age of settlements. So the people in the prehistoric era, early historic era, they followed the nomadic lifestyle and this type of settlements. And funeral activities, they had given a priority for these funeral activities always in the stages of settlements. Buried dead bodies in caves. Dead bodies were buried in caves. So they have found about 12 skeletons in Kitulgala Belilena and 30 skeletons in Bellanbari Palace and 9 skeletons in Pahiyangala. So these are caves. They have buried dead bodies in these caves. After burying the dead body, they will leave the cave and they will go to another place. They had certain types of funeral activities at the beginning. And the food style, they have hunted animals such as iguana, buffalo, deer, wild boar, spotted deer, mongoose and squirrel, monkey, civet cat, wild boar and small fish in natural water also had been hunted by these people. So wild breadfruit, wild plantain, gonala, cuculala, those are some of the plant food items that they have used. Prehistoric people ate snails, tree snails and oysters. Snails were available, oysters were available there, tree snails were available. So because of the availability, they tried to consume those things as food items. So it is said that a lagoon in Kitulgala Belilena have been identified to be mixed with salt brought from coastal areas. So they have mixed salt to make a favorable background for the breeding facilities of these oysters. And the technology. Stone tools were most used. Earlier these people had used some tools which was made by the bones of the animals. Right? So later they have used stone tools, and the tools discovered near gem mines of Ratnapura and Iranamadu formation are important. So they have discovered certain tools in Ratnapura near the gem mines of Ratnapura in the Iranamadu formation. So geometric shaped microstone tools were discovered. As we saw in the previous picture, geometric shaped microstones were discovered, and they were made of alabaster and kahanda stones. So those are the stones used there. So they have been developed during that period. So tools were used for hunting animals, cutting, scratching, digging and chopping animals. So those are the purposes of using tools. So their main lifestyle was hunting. Hunting was the main lifestyle. The hunted food were the main type of food that they had been consumed. And the nature of the physical body, that was also important about the ancient settlers. So the general height of a grown male in the Stone Age was about 174 centimeters. They had big teeth and wide nose. Grown female was 166 centimeters in height. Female's height was 166 centimeters. Male's height was 174 centimeters. So the size of the brain of a grown male is 1600 cubic centimeters and the female 920 cubic centimeters. And also the maximum lifespan of a prehistoric man is about 35 to 40 years. That was the maximum lifespan. At the age of 30 or 40, they had to die because of their lifestyle and the food patterns. And the rituals. So they had certain rituals in their funeral activities. We have discovered a burial ground in Ravanayalla, close to Badulla. They have found a skull buried, divided into two. Skull has divided into two and buried in a place closer to Ravanayalla in Badulla. So outside of the rough edges of the skull had been rubbed. The rough edges of the skull had been rubbed and they have made it shaved. They have trimmed it somewhat and leveled and painted with brown stones. Brown stones were used to paint the rubbed, leveled edges of the skull. Several parts of human skeletons were painted with red and brown stones. So they have done it as a ritual, taking the skeleton, rubbing them and leveling the rough edges, and they have painted those things with red and brown stones. Dead bodies are buried and kept for decaying, and later they have taken it back out and coloring it, and after that they have buried those things again. Dead bodies were curled and buried in the skeletons at Batadobalena and Kuruvita. So they have found some dead bodies which have been curled and buried in certain areas called Batadobalena and Kuruvita. Then the next part is the settlements of the proto-historic era. After the prehistoric era, The era which occurred is known as the protohistoric era. The period between the end of the prehistoric era and the beginning of the historic era is known as the protohistoric era. So protohistoric era is the end of the latter part of the prehistoric era, and that is the beginning, that is before the historic era. So intermediate, this is a protohistoric era, is a certain type of an intermediate era. So the activities of the prehistoric era, now these people developed after more than 1500 years, these people had developed. They were using burnt pots. Clay pots were burnt and used for cooking activities. Following a methodical burial system. They followed a methodical burial system than the people followed in the prehistoric era. Using iron. Earlier they used stones and parts of bones of the animals for making tools. But here they started to use iron. It's a development of using iron. So iron was started to use. So they started to build permanent buildings and starting agriculture. Permanent buildings were started and agriculture was also started during this protohistoric era. So the origin of the protohistoric era, after long-term geographical changes influenced the cultural transformation, such as using stone tools, gathering food, hunting after a long period. So first they were gathering food, hunting and using stone tools. An occurrence of a geo-period of Holocene or a Holocene period which the climatic change occurred. So after this prehistoric era, the geo-period started after a favorable change in the climate. This favorable change in the climate was favorable for all the settlement activities and the development of settlements. So it is known as the geo-period. So the South Asian region the geo-period had been occurred between 7000 and 4500 BC in the South Asian region. So this occurred after climatic change. So it is known as the geo-period or the Holocene era. So Holocene era or the geo-period is important to talk about the changes and the development of the mankind. Right. I hope you understood this part, and we have to discuss something more in the next part of this lesson. So till that you can ask these questions by using the textbook. So explain about the megalithic burials. So megalithic burials, the matters of megalithic burials, that is a burial system which took place in the protohistoric era. Where are the megalithic burials found? Explain about the burials of protohistoric era. So the burials of protohistoric era, that is the megalithic burials and clay tub burials. So these megalithic burials were made out of stone splinters in the shape of squares and covered with huge stone slabs. The pit was covered with stone splinters and it got a square shape and it was covered with huge stone slabs. After that, the dead bodies were deposited in these burials. So they have found certain burials in Ibban Kaduwa in the Dabula district and Galsohon Kanatta in Yapahuwa and in Yatigalpotta closer to Galewela. So those are the places where the megalithic burials are discovered. So megalithic burials means the type of burials which covered with stone splinters, it's in the shape of squares, and after that these things are covered by a huge stone slab. Then the clay tub burials were found. Clay tub burials also were found in certain areas. So the remains were deposited in clay pots. The remains of the dead bodies were deposited in clay pots, and those were deposited in a tub made out of raw clay in the shape of a boat. It took a shape of a boat. It was made with raw clay. So before depositing remains, human skeletons have been cremated in those clay tubs. Skeletons were cremated. So as a result, these clay tubs were burnt well. They were burnt well in order to keep it for a long time. So it remained for a long time because these clay tubs were burnt and prepared properly. So the deposits or the remains were buried in these clay tubs. It got the shape of a boat. These things were happened in clay tub burials. Right. So you can answer this question. These answers are in page number 20 in the textbook. So we will discuss the next part in our next video. Thank you very much.